All right, we're in Estes Park today. We have the first snow shoot that I've had this year. It snowed last night, and looks pretty beautiful out, so I thought I'd do a recording today. Give us a different perspective. Obviously, you're going to follow our typical protocol, but this one is at an angle, has a separate garage, has some unique stuff. So, all of these are just kind of a way to let us show how our standard protocol can be used on any house. And come on, DJI app, go. There it goes. Looks like our compass is good today. We have lots of SD card. Oh boy. You can hear the birds. There's a deer about 10 feet from me, just hanging out. It's a pretty beautiful day. Let's check our settings here. We have auto white balance, 2.7K at 60 frames per second. The ISO is on auto. We are saving to the SD card there. Switch over to pictures. The HDR 16:9. That one likes to change on us a lot. Auto white balance and auto ISO. All right, so let's get to it. Look at that shot, huh? Back it up a little bit. I have to say, I cannot complain about that shot right there. So you see there's a lot of trees and stuff like that. I actually had just like, I think it was an attempted insult, but it was actually one of the best compliments I think anyone could give. They were complaining that there was some purple in their shadows as like a picture of a pool table, and the shadow, at least on his printer, it kind of appeared to be purple. So he showed me the pictures and looked pretty mild to me, but it was his first shoot, and he took the shoot and he went on vacation for 2 weeks and didn't really deal with it. And I think while he was on vacation, the homeowners came back. They were saying they see this purple, and he's like, well, better blame someone. Couldn't be me being on vacation for 2 weeks being the issue. So he asked him, like, hey, did you talk to customer relations, or available 7 days a week now? It's like, no, I didn't. So he was pretty nice to it. I guess he was a little bit rude to someone else yesterday, so I was pretty ready for it. But he said, real photographers, that doesn't happen to. I was like, interesting. It's pretty much the highest compliment you can pay me is to call me not a real photographer, because our company is really based on utilizing robotics and artificial intelligence to really standardize our approach. I see so many of our clients that came from the world of having the best photographer, the artist. And that's great. I mean, it's amazing, but consistency is not there because you're really dependent on the, skills of that photographer. It was great. I don't take anything away from it, but as far as a business model, it puts you into kind of a tough place when it comes to being consistent with your real estate business and how you capture and just how you have consistency. So many clients over the past week have been clients where the videographer or the photographer had some family issue or something, couldn't make it out to the shoot. And that's why they called us. They said, we're tired of having to call multiple people. We're tired of it being dependent on one person. And I'm totally in that picture there. So I'm going to move over to this tree. There we go. Find the gaps in these trees here. You know, it's not as clear as having, you know, the fence with the 5 points in the backyard, but it's simply just circling around it and finding all the different angles, being able to tell the story. What's going on at this house? So this would be kind of my tight circle, and we do have a lot of views around here, so we're going to do a wider one that's like up above these trees, possibly between these trees. I'm going to go down a bit. See if we can get that mountain in there. Because that looks pretty awesome. See what else we can grab around here. Oh, let's grab some deer. They don't seem to mind the drone at all. I'm going to switch over to video and get this deer walking around. Told you there's some deer. I wasn't making it up. All right. Then we go back out to the street here. There I am. Let's see what we can find as far as an angle. Got that mountain back there. Pretty much full circle around this house, but kind of seeing if there's any more of these little angles. They look really cool. You know, it's tight in these trees. I'm finding some there. That's the, you know, the flexibility of having the drone is that you can go up, down, left, right. It's so easy. Or if you got to go hike this just the shots I just took in with the tripod. It would be almost impossible with almost 90% of those shots, and then it'd just take a long time to hike around and try to do all that stuff. So, all right, so let's go up, see if we can find some angles here. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? See if we can go back here, find some up higher angles. It can tell us a bigger story about this. I think we have to have a little spot down here we can go. Turn around. See how far back this direction I can go. So we can get that house with that mountain. Ooh, 1 foot, that's pretty close. Came down onto a tree, so good thing we have some obstacle avoidance. I'll tilt that gimbal a little bit from a different angle. It's just a beautiful cover shot there. Okay. We got this side here all wrapped up. Let's see if we got some cool shots from the other side. Looks like this all drops down, so we can kind of back it up. So this down to the right there is actually the front of the house. So pretty cool shot. Oh, the gimbal just dropped. Take that shot again. Oh, yeah. So this is the front of the house. Oh man, that's gonna be a cool shot. So framing it with these mountains at like a higher distance is really cool. This kind of shot. Oh, you know what? Kind of frame it with that peak there being. I'm gonna go to the other side over there. Gonna get one coming from this side because it looks like there's some cool stuff over there. Really, with the snow caps, that really created some, you know, real contrast with the mountains. All right, looks like I'm past the. Oh, look at that down there. So that's the valley down there, sort of Estes is and all that stuff. And then let's go over here and there's some higher trees over here, so I'm gonna check it out. There's the valley. That's where this park is and stuff like that. So some really cool shots, and that thing just dropped on me again. Man, like this particular drone has a gimbal that is just defective. It's on the remote control. Looks like they have a really shoddy part on it. Get some real distance over here. See if we can do this any better. Really, I think I'm gonna do this kind of like down the valley shot. A little bit over to the left, I think, wouldn't hurt. Maybe get it where the house is in the bottom right-hand corner. Something like that. Okay, so I think we got some really good shots around there. So I'm gonna go. This is essentially the back of the house over here. I'll go down in this pocket here. Let's do one right there. It looks beautiful. That tree kind of coming down. I'm hiding behind the car. The car is very useful to hide behind because having a car there is not as disruptive to someone's viewership of the house as if there's a person standing there looking at the drone or even looking away from the drone. But if I do have to be in the shot, I'll turn away from the drone. Make it less distracting. So again, I always start in the backyard with the 360, then above the house, and then above the roof, which is kind of our roof inspection. Today it's going to be all snow, so not exactly the same effect, but we'll show that it can hold snow. And then we'll do one 200 feet up, and this is not exactly down in the bowl. It is in a bowl, but it's not down in the bowl. So we'll probably adjust that typical 200-foot height that we usually do on a residential kind of track home down in the plains, you know, down the city. And we will do maybe a bit higher. So one of the things I always like to talk about is like when you are on a mountain, which we're not necessarily on a mountain looking around now, but you can, you know, take the high peak of that mountain and really go 400 feet above that, as long as that's the airspace you're in. So it is the highest point of the focal point of what you're focusing on, and the surrounding areas are what we're shooting. Even though we're shooting this house, but we do the peripherals, so they go into account for that. And really just a pristine day. I mean, this is just picturesque quality of sky. You know, there's enough clouds to make it interesting. The lighting is beautiful, and there's all this snow to make the mountains really look just awesome. So looks like we're not gonna have to go up too far. May just be our standard protocol here. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go to 200 because you can see Lake Estes there. So this is the one we use for the annotations, which will tell where the schools are, where the parks are, where the you know, the lakes. Which in this case we always mention Lake Estes, and we also mention Estes Park High School because there's only one high school up here. So no matter how far away we are from it, we put that one on there. So I'm kind of starting to look to see if I can frame some stuff. I'm not seeing too many peripherals I'm going to fly over to, so I'm going to kind of frame out the mountains that are in the area, kind of see where I can pick good mountains to frame up. It's like the big one there, kind of play with a little bit, but when I go back to HDR, I'll look at that and see just really what looks interesting. And I just do a spin around, and so this one I'm going to kind of frame out these two mountains. It's really kind of a valley shot. I'm going to stand up, come out of hiding a little bit, get a little more comfortable. I'll rotate left, look at that mountain there. Just, man, some cool mountains because there's like the browns, the greens, the whites. That mountain you see up on the top left there. It's really, really cool. So I'm trying to get mountains in there. You know, there's no real science to this. It's just kind of like, where does it make sense? There's a peak on each side of this one. But this one looks cool. See that rock that's sticking up there? Kind of seeing where does this one go on the left here. See where it starts to drop down there? Kind of pick that valley as a marker point. But I'm also getting that cool mountain that's all snow packed on the backside there. And these two peaks here. I'm sure someone calls it Twin Peaks because there's just Twin Peaks everywhere. But the true Twin Peaks is right around that mountain, on the backside of that mountain there that's on the left. Just getting all these cool view shots. It's really up to you, you know, just as long as you're taking a lot of pictures, you're gonna do great with that. I'm gonna do a nice spin around. So in places like this, you may not get that great of a circle around with a view shot because of the trees. This time I'm thinking I'm able to pull it off, but while I'm up here, I might as well just get a full spin around so post has something to work with. And since I did the spin around with the pictures, I know that my gimbal's at the right elevation. And even though I'm running out of batteries, I know I can pull it off. I think it's a good time to remind everyone that we've had some batteries bulge, and I've learned this is actually pretty common online for the Mavic 2 batteries. My experience is to really make sure that you're keeping those batteries out of the sun, keeping insulated places. You see we have lots of mud here. Find the least muddy place, get that gimbal up. All right, let's get a new battery on. Turn the battery off, because if you do not turn the battery off, you could risk jeopardizing and corrupting the SD card, which would render your shoot useless. It has happened. It's very rare, but turning the battery off is a huge precaution to eliminate that. I think that since everyone's been doing that, we've had no instances of corrupted SD cards, but I would not say that it's never going to happen again, because it may. All right, so now we do our front of the house, 360. There's our front. I like to kind of go to the second level of the house. This one's only a one level house, but kind of where that, the upper level, the roof, might even be a little bit above that in this one. But a little distance so I can see everything that's there. Oof. Got a raindrop on the remote control. It's not a raindrop, it's a drip from the melting snow. There's icicles on all the trees today. So, I'm gonna find a hiding spot here that doesn't have dripping for my over the house that's about to happen here. Just gonna get behind some trees here. Got a fairly nice tree down behind, and it doesn't look like there's too much above me, so not much risk of the whole dripping water thing, which is not good for the remote or the drone. All right, so that gets us all done with panos. So I'll switch back to HDRs in case I see any cool shots while we're doing panos. Or while we're doing video, I'm sorry. Okay, we've got a tree there. And so you have a pretty open spot there. Okay, got a nice side swipe there. Now for our zoom. Gonna have a lot more up than in on this one, because I want to get that view. All right, now back down to the driveway. This is where I can actually see the drone, which is always very helpful in making it nice and easy to do this side swipe. There we go. Get a nice angle on it. Bam. Not sure if they'll use all that, but it's pretty cool. I'm gonna do like a little zoom down this driveway. Because and then I'm gonna do a zoom out of this deck. I love doing these zoom outs of the decks, especially with this one. I'm trying to get nice and low so that when I come out, I can have my gimbal pretty straight up, so I can already see that mountain there. The only reason I have the confidence of doing that shot is because I've gone back in this little nestle here. I know there's some breaks in the trees. I'm very familiar with it by doing the HDRs and all that stuff. I know where the spots are now. I've learned where all the trees are breaking and stuff like that. It allows me to be able to do those things. It allows me to know if I can do those things or not. Let's find a nice place where we can kind of do a nice little pan here. Okay, very cool. Now let's get up over our highest tree. Make sure we're above it. I'm gonna go hide under this tree here. Find a new tree to hide under. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right. Looks like we're above all the trees. Now, to find the house again. That's it right there, huh? Sure, I'm truly above all these trees here. Looks pretty good. All right, let's get this in the point of interest mode. I'm doing bigger squares these days to kind of really get the whole property. Seems to be working well for me. The little gimbal. Give Post a lot to work with there. Get them nice and high here. And really get out quite a bit. It's like I'm above the mountain, or not really a mountain, it's a hill, I should say. So I'm gonna start there. Do some gimbal toggling here for that one. I'll probably toggle back down when I get to the valley. You can start to see how, learning your territory by taking the pictures that are nice and steady and doing your 360s, all that stuff first, really sets you up really well for being able to get this video and knowing your territory so you don't have such a... I'm going to gain some altitude. So we can kind of get that valley a little bit better. And slow down. I really love this mountain over here. It's about to come up. That one right there. And that one too. Oh, okay. Cancel that. Go back to normal. And that little green home down there is where we're at. So if you ever get lost, that's how you find yourself. All right. Well, that was a great shoot. It went very smooth. And really enjoyed it. It was just a beautiful start to the winter. I guess it's still technically fall, but first nice beautiful snow for us. So thanks for watching and hope you enjoyed it.